You're gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is Mixtape 615 podcast, baby, and we are the voice of who? The fans. That's you, if you're listening. We're going to talk some Nashville SC real quick, so lock in with me, baby. My name is Tunji, a.k.a. Young Turtle Lee Soccer Face, SF Doom, the DR kid, affectionately known as Steam Papi Yamame 454, a.k.a. Mississippi monetized on the speech and beliefs, feeling cool, like a summer breeze. Yo, Austin, it's a 4-leaf clover in your pocket. You just lucky to see me at Lucky's 3-star bar before every home match and at every away match, throwing back shots of Malort till I start speaking like a true Chicagoan. That's why they call me Chicago Mike. And once again, it's a Mixtape 615 podcast. Austin, can you tell them who you are, please?
What's up, guys? My name is Austin, a.k.a. Wildman, a.k.a. Ginger Snap. Don't cross this ginger because he may snap. A.k.a. the Fumbling Dublin because St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. And you know how it goes when you throw back some of those Irish car bombs. A.k.a. Chicky Farm Farm. A.k.a. Redbeard, the dopest pirate in all the 7 seas. Logan, tell me who you are.
All right, guys, y'all know who it is. This is Logan, a.k.a. Beer Main, a.k.a. Manga Man, a.k.a. Lucky Logan, a.k.a. the Thunderbird with the Underberg. And this is the Mixtape 615 podcast brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, in all of soccer, in all of the world. And you guys want to jump in with us, just go to Mixtape 615, Mixtape615.com. Excuse me. Some of that whiskey is already hitting me. Here we go. Just go to Mixtape615.com and jump in with us. There's a lot of soccer news out there in the world. Some of it I don't even need to talk about. But with the Houston and Miami match getting really choppy, it was pretty awesome, to some of the teams being really sloppy in the MLS this week. I'm not going to point out everybody, but we got to bring it into Nashville because we got to talk about our most recent away match. Austin, take it away.
All right, guys. Well, yes, we are in for a match rewind. You know it. You love it. You might not love this one, but guys, another loss to the New York Red Bulls. We still have not beaten the New York Red Bulls. What is going on with Nashville? Apparently, they've got our number. They know how to either not lose or, just outright beat us. But there is 0 wins now in 7 matches, I believe it is, against New York. So 3 of the last 4 have ended in draws. So hopefully we can maybe make the change later in the season. We'll see how that goes. But Tunji, initial reactions and a 2-0 loss to New York Red Bulls.
I mean, the first half was a struggle. I've seen people saying that, like, oh, we got better in the second half because we put in Yazbek and Kasem. And I'm like, yeah, they were up 2-0. They didn't have to go. Red Bulls didn't have to go as hard. So, yeah, it looked a little bit better. They gave us a little bit better looks at the goal. But at that point, they had established, like, the dominance in the game. Like, they had their foot on Nashville's neck, and we just could not get up. My biggest takeaway is, like, BJ and his team just did not prepare well enough for the press. I don't care what anyone says. This time around, Energy Drink FC struck again and they won. We looked vulnerable. We looked slow. Young guys definitely struggled, bro. Like Wyatt Mayer looked out of sorts, bro. He looked out of sorts. I blamed Walker initially for that first goal, but when I looked back, when I looked at the Sophos goal, and I looked back at it and I watched the tape, I was like, yo, Wyatt was the one that was on that play that he touched the ball the most. He had the most chances to get it out of there. And he also looked the most out of control. The kid is new to the league. He's new to the league and the team. So of course his composure isn't there yet. And I'm happy he's getting this experience now rather than later. I'm happy that the team got this experience. The Red Bulls are the league runner-up, bro. Like, this was, they were the league MLS Cup runner-up. So I don't think I think honestly, when I look back on the game, we're a few days removed. I'm kind of like, wow, we were kind of lucky to get out of that just with just 2 goals on us instead of, more. So it's a very sobering moment. And it just reminded me like, man, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go before we get there as a squad.
Yeah. And I mean, you talked about that first goal. I've seen this happen a lot with Nashville last year. And so it's a little concerning as well. It's the second chance goals. It's the second opportunity. The first one, it came off the post. And then when the initial shot happens, our defense stops tracking them in. And so Sofa, ended up alone by himself. Ball came right to him. But I mean, Choupo-Moting was the one that created that. He got through, I think it was like 5 of our players got through to get the initial shot off. So it's concerning to say the least. But Logan, what's your big takeaway from this 2-0 loss?
I'm kind of Tunji. I kind of feel you on that. Walker was the one who we gave a big brunt of, but the biggest thing that I can see out of that is that he actually was back. He was pretty much the only defender ready for the press that they were up against. And part of that is because he's been with us since the beginning. Part of that is because he was or has been in all of those, 6-7 matches now that we've seen out of these guys from Red Bulls. So he kind of understood where it was being a player who has been at the highest level of the game. He understands and has prepared well for that. The biggest thing I think out of that is that it is a learning curve for our new guys. Another bright spot though is, dude, Ahmed Kassim coming in the way he did is phenomenal. Like he has stepped into this team. And we saw him in the first, match at home a little bit. We were like, yeah, immediate pass into Hany. He was on it. It was a little bit late, if you want to say that, the offsides call, whatever. But in this match, he showed up and showed up well. I would not be surprised if he comes in as a starter this next match.
It's interesting to think about for sure, because I mean, you're seeing rotations. I think right now with the amount of injuries that we have now is the time to experiment. And so if you wanted to look at him as a starter, switch it around a little bit, I think we could. I think that you could put like an Alex Moyle on the bench, bring him in because he's a good change of pace person as well. But we've talked about BJ Callaghan needing to get this attack going. That's his whole thing, was we were going to be more attack mindset. I know that we have a lot of injuries right now, so I'm not going to put it solely on him, but we had 2 shots on net. That's got to be on the players. We did have 10 shots, so we were getting looks, but only 2 shots on net. Tunji, what do you make of that? What do we need to see more from our strikers and attackers?
Obviously accuracy, but when in regards to the scoring, like all this game in particular, all it told me was that, we need our main starters back. I know Brugman is still new to the team. We don't really know how he's going to fit in right now. But I do know that he's probably going to be a better option than some of the young guys that they've got going in there right now because of his veteran status, because of his experience. So, I just don't know if I want Hany and I want Sam Surridge to step up and start scoring. But without that right now, I think right now, instead of looking to get wins, we should be looking to find the chemistry. So I do appreciate the experimentation from BJ. I do appreciate it. It's the Red Bulls, man. Playing the Red Bulls doesn't help. And we were probably and this is something I've been saying for a minute. And I wish that I could have been on that Instagram live that you guys did, so I could get my thoughts out on this. But BJ, I think one of the things that we've always felt when we've played the New York Red Bulls, Nashville SC fans, is that we're right there. There's just like one or two things that could happen that could change the course of the game. We can get those 3 points. What it was, it's that is, I'm starting to realize that might have been a delusion. What it was is that we had Gary Ball, which stopped the Red Bulls from scoring and is their natural kryptonite in the way that they play. Now we've got BJ coming in with his style, which plays directly into what Red Bulls like. They like to play against teams with high possession that keep a high press because with the guys they have. With the guys that they have, Emil, Chupa Maxim, like they know how to get behind. And did I say his name wrong?
I mean, yes, but go ahead.
I said Chupa Maxim,
Chupacabra,
Chupacabra Maximus. But no, like these guys are sneaky and they know how to find those weak points in your flanks, those weak points in the middle of your field. Because again, Red Bulls is a tricky Rubik's Cube, and it just was not. It's either you could either look at it one of two ways. It was good that we played them early so that we as fans and the team as the players and BJ as a coach can realize, okay, there is a wide gulf that we have to cross before we can say that we have arrived as Nashville 2.0. And maybe if we got served up a weaker team, which I don't know who's weaker than us right now, that's a sad reality. But again, I'm starting to come to terms, people. It's tough. It's tough going up against a team like that and then trying to say, well, we're not playing great. We're not good. I'm like, well, yeah, we're not playing good. We're not great. We're injured. We got new people, and we're playing young guys in the midfield who just quite don't have the experience to take on a team like the New York Red Bulls. Everyone knows how like everyone is scared to play the Red Bulls because of their press in particular. We got served up on the golden platter.
Well, to be fair, it's not just about how we play in the high press on the back end. It's about how we're playing in the front end too, how we're finishing in the final third. And one of the biggest things that I've seen over the last two matches is something that we've talked about several times, is the amount of touches they're taking before they let the ball off. The amount of touches that they're taking before they try and score. You do not need that many touches to control. We've seen it in Europe. We've seen it in South America. We've seen it in Japan. There's in across Asia, Africa. There's no other country that has teams that hold the ball as much as this particular team does in that final third. One touch, look for the goal, score, like shot right then and there. And that's one of the biggest issues that I've seen out of this team this entire the entire time they've been in the league.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
we haven't had the entire time BJ's been there, the entire time Gary was there. Like this team does not know how to one touch shot. I'm not looking for direct goals. I'm looking for a quick reaction.
That's a very hard thing to do, and it's even harder when you don't have, like, for the majority of Nashville's time here, we haven't had creative guys love Hany. I'm not sure if he's that type of player or that's going to help you find those creative ways to get the ball, either to get the ball into the box or to put it into the net. Like, you need more creative people, and we've never had that. So that's it.
I think that Hany is creative. I think that his ball control is really good, but I think that sometimes that becomes a crutch for him. Is he's focusing too much on his ball control and how good he is, and it's one too many touches. So I kind of I see it from both perspectives. It's funny, I'm normally the one that's more
super positive,
one far extreme or the other, but I'm kind of right in the middle of you two with this one, because I do see that we do have one too many touches in the box. However, I understand we don't have the most creative players at this point. I think that Tyler Boyd can be that. He's injured. I think that Schaffelberg can be that. He's injured. Now, once we start seeing these guys come back, you mentioned it, Tunji. I mean, we have Brugman, Acosta, Schaffelberg, Tyler Boyd. All of these guys are still out. We just got Yazbek back, but he was coming off of an injury. Once we got a healthy team, I think that this will be a different team. But we got to talk a little bit more about what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we want to see repeated. We got a little play, skip, repeat coming up next.
Yippee!
Are you tired of neck or back pain? Maybe it's shoulder pain or headaches get in the way of your busy life. Well, Christ Chiropractic is right here in Franklin, Tennessee, and they've been helping families and professionals live their best life for over 25 years. They specialize in spinal decompression therapy and chiropractic adjustments that are there to tackle the pain and get down to the root cause without drugs, without surgery. So whether it's stress from work or chasing your kids around, they have got you covered. Visit christchiropractic.com. That's CRIST chiropractic.com to schedule your appointment and take the first step toward living a pain-free life.
It's very simple. I'm going to throw it to you guys, and then
I don't think we need a long explanation of what this is.
Nope.
So we've done it enough times.
I'm going to throw it to you guys, and I'll take it on the last one and then send us into the panic button. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Ready when you guys are, just let me know.
Go.
We are back, everybody. It is time for a really nice favorite, a classic, if you will, on this podcast of barely a year. The play, skip, repeat. Everyone, if you've been listening, you know what it is. But for those of you who are just now joining us, we want to see what we like, the play, what we want to see more of, the repeat, and what we never want to see again, the skip. I'm going to send it over to Austin to start us off. Austin, give me your play, skip, repeat.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I've got one that I think that we may be a little bit more controversial on. Maybe a lot of people don't love, but I want us to play Johnny Perez. We need to see more of that because right now we don't have Schaffelberg. I know that we have Togseth, but I want to see a little bit more of that speed, a little bit more of that energy that you get from a Schaffelberg. And I think that Johnny Perez right now can bring that in. He's got that hunger. He's got that young mindset where he's, you know, like all bets are off. I'm going for the net. I'm all in. Whatever that looks like, give us that little extra energy, that extra push. I want to see Johnny Perez being played. Now, what I want to see skipped, I actually want to see, and it's nothing against him as a person. I think that he has not looked terrible, but he's also not looked super strong. It's a young guy, may just need a little bit more time, a little bit more development, and that is Matthew Corcoran. I think that he looked pretty stable in his first match. There were moments that we saw in this match where he looked pretty decent, but you mentioned it, Logan. I want to see Ahmed Kassim coming in a little bit more, and so I think that Matthew Corcoran is somebody that we just need to skip in our starting lineup. Maybe not for good, maybe not in the game altogether, but I think in that starting lineup, I think that Ahmad Kassim, if I can say his name correctly, is somebody that I think might do better in that spot. Now for the repeat. And this was a difficult one because this was a more difficult match to watch. It's one that we haven't seen a lot of. However, over the course of the first two matches, I think that Sam Surridge is playing well. I think that he's playing the true number 9 role that we expected him to play. I think that he is finding himself more open in the box. Now he needs to get some of those finishes in the box that we want to see. However, the positioning, I talked about it last year. He has one of the best positions as far as playing when he's playing his true role. He has some of the best positioning of our entire team. And I want to see that repeated once we start getting our guys back. We start getting a little bit more of that chemistry that we talked about. I think that we will see Sam Surridge start bearing a lot of these. And I think, Logan, you know, maybe this is a year where we could see him getting a golden boot if we start getting him the services that he needs and he starts finishing.
Yep. All right. I like those takes. They're interesting takes. Again, maybe a little controversial for some. Tunji, let's hear your side of this. Give me your play, skip, repeat.
All right. Very similar to you, Austin. Play Ahmad Kassim, obviously. I don't care how new he is at this point. I don't care. Wind him up, Put him in, let him loose. He is the creativity that we need right now. All right.
Okay.
That's my play. There should be, if you watch the game, if you have eyeballs, there should be no need for an explanation. He's an obvious boon to the team right now.
Yep.
I don't care. Again, don't care how new he is. Just put him in the game. Figure it out, BJ. Skip. Red Bull press. Never want to see that again. Don't need any of that. Don't want that.
Red Bulls entirely.
Just
that was
we'll
almost
there,
my skip. That was almost my skip.
The Red Bull press. Yeah, no, I just don't. We don't need it. We don't. It's not good for my health. Okay. You saw how I was very good on Saturday. You guys saw how I was sitting there. I was on X being sober, just play. I was drinking ginger ales. And then that second goal came through, and when I think we got video of this, I had to take 2 shots of Malort.
I literally watched it happen. It was funny.
He watched my resolve break. I was like, I was gonna stay sober tonight. Okay, all right, that's my skip.
What's
Here's my repeat? Malort shots at Lucky's every time we lose. It's a tradition now. That's what's happening.
It'll make things better.
It'll make everything feel good again.
Wow.
There you go.
Now the people know. Now all of our listeners know it's
Chicago
not just in
Mike
his AKAs for no reason. These actually
it's
happen.
real.
Oh, man.
These are real life occurrences, and you guys need to get with the program.
That's funny. That's really funny. All right, guys. Well, I'll give you mine real fast. So my I'm gonna start with my skip. I'm gonna start with my skip in general. My skip is on 0 goals in net. If we want to continue to be a team that we want to see make it to the playoffs, we cannot have a clean sheet against us. We cannot have a clean sheet against us. We talked about it earlier this year. We've mentioned it. Everyone's really talked about it because BJ put it out there. The road to 50. We're 2 games in with no goals to show. We have to start producing. And I know it's 2 games out of 34? Does not matter. We have to start producing. If it's 1 in a 1-4 loss, it's still 1 on the board. We got to have some kind of production there. Now, my play is actually Eddie Toxeth. Guys, like, I know we've seen him play already, and it could be a repeat, but no, my play is his aggression coming back. My play is his aggression coming back from that first game. It wasn't really there as much this last match. We saw him be a little chippy in the very beginning, but it went away real fast after that first goal. I need to see him be chippy again, man. I need to see him be that enforcer role again. He was there. I need to see it again. And my repeat, so you guys, you put it on the play, Tunji. Nah, my repeat is Kasim in the game. Period. Keep him there. Repeat it over and over. He is the answer when Schaffelberg is not there. When it comes to feeding it to the right person, he's putting it there. In fact, look at what he did with Sam. And Sam got that nasty tackle that was late, that should have been called, should have gotten a penalty, didn't get called. It is what it is. But he's the one who's feeding that ball in. He knows where to put it, knows how to get it there. We got to have Kasim in the game. That's it, man. It's that simple.
It is. It really at this point, 2 games in the season, it really is that simple. Put Ahmed Kasim in, and there's no other words I need there.
You think that's how he scored?
I think he's
so.
a very
big. Last season we had a completely different face. You know, it's new faces, same story. We scored 1 goal in our first 2 games, but the goal that we scored was a PK, and it was the awkward handball by Colorado Rapids. Remember, like the weird bounce by the cross?
But
and
again,
so we got lucky there.
In net. I'm not saying PKs. I'm saying goals in net, period. We got to have something.
That's what I'm saying. Is Ahmed Kasim the one that's going to get it for us? I know that y'all are really pushing for him. I don't know if he's that guy. I think that he is good. I am liking what I'm seeing. I haven't seen enough. Maybe my sample size is too small, and maybe y'all are right. We need to see more of Ahmed Kasim, and that's going to win me over. But like I said, we saw a ton from Johnny Perez of good things last season.
At the end of
I
last
want to
season,
see more of that guy. I think that Johnny Perez has the youth. I think that he's got the, devil may care attitude. And I think that he's somebody who may be able to give us that edge a little bit more than Kasim. But again,
I mean,
I will be happily proven wrong if Kasim comes in and we start scoring goals.
We're seeing it. I mean, we really are. In my opinion, we're seeing it from him as far as what the service needs to be into the net. The chances that are created in those final minutes when he's in, it really does look a lot better than they do early, at least so far.
But
Again, we're 2 games in.
But Tunji said it, that, they were already up 2-0. They were playing possession ball. They were playing bend, don't break ball. So Kasim coming in and looking as good as he is that really telling of what he is, or is that more telling of what the opponents have been doing against
Logan,
him?
hold on. Hold on. He's got a good point there.
I mean,
here's the
little
difference.
Bit of a point there.
Here's the difference, though. The way it's the quality of the lanes that the lines that he's breaking, the passes that he's making, the quality is so much higher, and the creativity is so much higher than anything else I see, especially in this Red Bull game. Like Kasim was there doing things I have not seen a Nashville player do almost ever. So again, yeah, I like Perez. I think he's a great player, but I just think Kasim is obviously better.
Well, and like I said, I will be happily mistaken, and I will come right back on the pod and say you guys were right. I will be the first to admit it. I just got to see it.
It sounds like somebody's finger is hovering. Sounds like somebody's finger is hovering over that panic button, and maybe it's time to hit it on a couple of things. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's way too early. Who knows? But these panic buttons are being hovered over, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what those mean and what those are coming up next. What's up, Mixtape family? The new season's around the corner. In fact, it's already here, and it's time to turn it up. Tailgates, away match days, the whole shebang.
And here's the play. Our official watch party spot this season is going to be Lucky's 3-star bar. That's 3 stars out of 5, and it's just a short walk from Geodis Park on 4th Ave.
Nah, man, I'm giving them 5 stars out of 5 because Lucky's is where it is at. The pregame is strong, catching every single minute of the action, watching our Nashville SC boys get the dub with the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
And you already know you can still get lit with me at Lucky's. Cold drinks, glizzy, screens everywhere. The vibe is undefeated.
So roll up with your squad. In fact, you're part of our squad. Come to Lucky's 3-star bar. It's our new away match day headquarters. Let's make this season legendary.
Big energy all season long. Let's get it.
Yeah.
You guys know what I do. I am a sleuth on the interwebs, and I saw some people. They weren't just like hand hovering over the panic button. They were full on slamming it. And other people were. I saw a very funny Tintin comic, one of my favorite comics growing up. I know it's controversial now, but I'm standing by it. Of there's the character Tintin, and then the captain like sitting there drinking the full bottle of whiskey, and talking about this season's rough. And then Tintin saying, "Yo, boss, it's only been 2 games." You know what I'm saying? So, but for us, it doesn't feel like it's been 2 games, right? It feels like it's been
a season and a half.
It feels like we still feel like we're back on that Leagues Cup final field where everything fell apart for us. So that's why we have this feeling of, if we don't see results, and I don't blame anybody, bro. We, especially us here on the pod, like we have to look at the incremental results day by day, week by week, game by game. So I have to look at, okay, are we better than last week or are we worse than last week? So, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick, fun, rapid-fire session, right? I'm going to ask these 2 guys questions that I've seen being thrown around, some that I feel like the fans are feeling. Now, I'm going to ask Logan and Austin if they're going to hit the panic button, and they're going to tell me if they are or if they're not, and why what their reasoning is. So, real quick, Logan, BJ's overall record is 3-6-2 in the MLS and 3-8-2 overall. Some people are saying that this is the start of the decline of his very brief head coaching career. You hitting the panic button?
I'm not hitting the panic button yet. Again, last year we didn't see his guys. This year we're starting to get his guys in, and we're only 2 games in. He said it already at the beginning of the season. This is going to take time. So let's give it time.
Yeah, they definitely same here. Definitely need to give it time. All right, Austin. Nashville has yet to score their first goal, right? And you all know how hard that is to get on the books when you're 2 games behind and you still don't have a goal. Some are starting to believe that this is going back to the Gary Ball days. You panicking? Ooh, he's what?
I am nervous about our attack because those aren't the guys who are injured right now. Yes, we don't have Schaffelberg, but Hany, Mukhtar, and Sam Surridge, we talked about those guys have to be our strikers that we need them to be, and neither one of them on the board yet.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel, man. I'm starting to get worried.
I'm close to you. I'm close to where you're at. I definitely do need to see them score. Speaking of which, Hany, well, actually, Sam, that is my next question. Logan, Sam Surridge and Hany have struggled with their shots on goal going back to last season. Should we be panicking about their goal accuracy right now?
Their goal accuracy? No, not at all. I mean, in my opinion, it shouldn't come down to anything other than. Okay, maybe we got to panic a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Are you panicking? Where did that come from?
Internally, just a little bit. I'm panicking. But again, we're 2 games in. We've got to see, because Hany and Sam both rely on who's coming forward, who's bringing that ball up, who's helping them to create those chances. So we do have a little bit of a panic in there, but again, we've got some injuries. We've still got some guys coming back. Again, BJ said this could take time, so we're going to give it a little bit of time.
How much time are you giving
internally,
it? How much time? How much time are you going to give
it? Let's talk again in like 2 or 3 games. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll come back to it. Here's a little bit of a lighthearted one, but it's still very serious to me. All right, Austin. Nashville SC, formerly known as Twitter, admin, got absolutely torched on X after the game. I don't know if you saw the tweet that Red Bull's account gave us after we tried to make fun of them playing in New Jersey but being called the New York Red Bulls, and then them replying back after the 2-0 drubbing that we knew where they played and we still didn't show up. You panicking?
I think that
that's like a 5-alarm panic right there.
I think the admin needs to step up their roast game, put on some sunscreen for the burn that they got, and
some aloe
take
vera.
their losses and see where it goes from here. But come on, guys, you got to do better than that.
Yeah, I think they can do better. They can be better. All right, we can't be compounding L's like this. All right, we had an L on the pitch. I don't need an L off the pitch.
We're in New York, New Jersey, and whatever they did there. I was like, oh, come on, guys.
I don't know, man. All right, Logan. Here's another one here. We all saw the Emil Forsberg banger. The absolute banger that he got. And then Safos with the lucky bounce, which he capitalized on. I have seen people starting to bring up Joe Willis's age, even though he's coming off of, what was that, his 50th clean sheet the week before?
Yeah, 50th with Nashville.
Yeah, with Nashville.
It's not including his time
I've seen
in Houston,
people, not including all of that. I have seen people starting to talk about moving on from Joe, especially after this Red Bulls game. I've seen it with my eyes. Logan, what do you think? Panic button or no?
Nah, I'm not panicking, because if you saw what happened after, look at what happened late in the second. There were 2 straight up one-on-ones with him back to back where he blocked both himself
with his face.
Dude, no, it was hands. His hands were up. He was there.
I saw one
he
bounce
was
off
quick,
his face.
man. He was quick with it. I'm telling you, Joe is still our guy in net. Joe still knows how to say no.
You riding with Joe all season?
I don't know about all season. I don't know about all season, but I'm riding with him for now.
I heard a panic button. Austin, what
not
you
for
got?
me.
Austin, what you got? Hold on.
Watch,
Let him
the
talk.
second goal. I know that Forsberg had a banger, but watch
He
how
did. He
Joe
did get a
moves
step late.
slow.
He did get a step late.
He starts to take a step, but hesitates.
Yeah.
I think had he made the step and trusted his instinct, he can reach that ball.
He did have a
Because
step
he was
late.
close.
Yep.
Had he stepped when he should had, I think that he makes that save.
I don't know,
And
man.
There's a little hesitation. There really
I think
was.
there's some age possibly showing. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not hitting the panic button yet on Joe just because I like him, but that's not gonna
I
keep
love
the ball
Joe.
out the net.
I love
that's
Joe.
the reason I'm not hitting the panic button. So that don't listen to me. All right. I'm a sentimental fool, apparently. Austin, 2 games, 2 wildly different results, in my opinion, in terms of how we looked on the pitch. Same formation, though. When do we start to panic about how well this Nashville 2.0 vision is being executed?
Now, we'll say I don't hit the panic button here. We talked about all the
Finally, you've been
injuries.
panicking this whole segment.
But we talked about the injuries. And I don't know if this is the time. I'm worried about our attack, but overall as a team executing the game plan that BJ Callaghan wants to play, I don't think we've fully seen it yet. We're still playing a 4-4-2, which is Gary ball. I think that maybe that changes and that shifts and some tactics change once we get Brugman back, once we get Acosta back, once we get Schaffelberg back. Who's the other person that's injured right now?
Schaffelberg.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mentioned those, but yeah, I think there's one more that I'm missing. But anyways, I think that we just haven't fully. Oh, Tyler Boyd. That's the other one. Yeah. Once we get those guys back,
he's on the team, bro.
Once we get those guys back, I think that we will see a different Nashville.
Okay. Let's say we get them back and we still, just by the logic of what you said, we get them back and this vision still doesn't come into fruition. Then you're hitting the panic button.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I heard it. Heard it here first. Logan, Jack Maher just logged his 100th match with Nashville. Zimmerman is our current defensive DP. Lovitz is holding down that left back spot. These guys are considered by the fans, this is what they're saying, the old guard.
Mm-hmm.
But these same fans have recently expressed dissatisfaction with all of them going back to last year. Does this recent game give us a room to hit that panic button about the back line? Uh-oh. What? Hold up. All right.
Yes.
All right.
There's definite panic. There's definite panic here. And now here's the thing. It's honestly, this last match showed me, I know we called make or break, we called make or break, and I said that this could be a break year for Walker. Walker was the only one actually moving back against that press. I just said it earlier. I'm saying it again. He's the only one from that old guard that I can still trust on the pitch. With Dan Lovitz moving as high as he was, I was scared because he wasn't getting back. Jack Maher, man, I've got to see more production out of him. Again, we saw more production out of Josh Bauer last year. I know we just had him on the pod, and I don't want to play favorites or anything like that, but I think we need to give Josh another shot over Jack this next game.
That was very close to being my play, was putting in Josh Bauer instead of Jack Maher. And
I know that's like again, we just had him on the pod. If you guys haven't seen that episode, go watch it. It was a great opportunity to get to learn something about a great dude. Who I, honestly, I had my doubts about him at first. And then over the course of the season, he won me over. I was asking,
I understand what that's like.
Yeah. Well, I was asking during the match, I was asking the homie Addy, like, hey, what would you think about seeing Josh in right now? So, I'm curious. Like, I kind of was hoping to see him get a chance too. Yeah. But BJ's got his plans, and we gotta let him do his thing. Okay. Austin, we've done a lot of panicking so far. This one is serious, okay? I recently I think it was on Twitter, on X. I saw an image of Hany Mukhtar on a milk carton with the words missing. Should
no.
I, the everyday Nashville fan, be panicking about this guy showing up when we need him? Ooh, look at that face.
I'm not
He's
hitting
fighting
it yet.
it. He's
It's
fighting it.
reluctant
He wants to hit that
it was-
panic button.
It was hard to watch towards the end of the season last year. It's been difficult to watch because he hasn't really hit those yet.
Oh, that was
subtle
Logan.
panic. Is that a subtle panic?
That's a very subtle panic. Logan, what you got?
Internal panic, man. Again,
Is-
it's a guy we're not seeing a lot of production from yet, and we haven't in a while. I'm scared to keep him there. I'm curious to see what it would be like. We talked about it a little bit last year. I'm curious to see what it'd be like if Boyd's in. I'm curious to see what it would be like if Kasim takes that position up. I want to see what some of those guys could do, and not because I don't trust Hany fully. I just want to see if we have another option in case we have him go down in one way or another.
Well, speaking of Boyd, with Boyd and Brugman still looking like they are nowhere close to returning to the lineup, should we be panicking that more games that look like this one against the Red Bulls are in the chamber for Nashville?
I think if that's the question, then we got to hit it, because I think that we are going to see.
Oh, double panic!
It's there.
Yeah,
double panic.
We will see more games like this. Just get ready, Nashville SC fans. We will see more games like this until we create that chemistry, because you got to think Kasim new to the team, Wyatt Mayer new to the team. What's his name? Matthew Corcoran new to the team.
Mm-hmm.
All of those guys are either starting or being subbed in. None of them have been able to create chemistry with the rest of the team. And so it's not a panic in the sense that this is going to be the rest of the season. But if you're asking, are we in for more games like this? Then yes, that button's got to be hit, because these guys, if we're rolling long term with some of these players, they're just not there yet. With the team in general. I'm not saying the skill's not there, but I'm just saying, like, this chemistry hasn't been built yet. It's like Sam Surridge. We saw the immediate impact when Leagues Cup came around, but then after that, Sam did nothing. And then last season, when he had a off season with the team and he had more time to build bonds with the team, he became our leading goal scorer last year.
Okay.
So I think that yes, we're going to see more of this, but I don't think that we're in for an entire season of this.
Okay. I got one last question. It's a 2-tier question. I'm gonna start with Logan for the first tier and then end with Austin on the second tier. We debuted our Heart of Nashville kit in New York for some reason and got absolutely mollywopped in that kit. Looks like there's no love in the heart of the Big Apple, in the big city, for Nashville SC in that pretty plain design. Logan, should the Adidas design team start hitting the panic button? What is this, DEFCON level 5? Wow. Goodness gracious.
It's not just Nashville's kit. They've gotten it handed to them for several kits. So let's be honest. If we want to look at some of the older kits that we've had before, I see Austin's got one in his hands right now. But if we want to look at some of the kits that we've had before that have worked really well, all you need is something just a little different, a little subtleness, and it can't just be a little badge in the bottom. Yep. It's got to be something that's throughout the jersey itself. That's a great one, Austin. The Man in Black kit, simple, elegant,
throwing that Man in Black
still
kit in his face.
there. The home kit that we had, not the most recent one, but the one before that.
Homecoming kit.
Yeah, the homecoming kit with the Geodis on the bottom with the sound waves through the side. Again, subtle, but good. Clean. Spoke to what Nashville's true heart is, that music city. That's what we need. I mean, unless you're willing to go back to calling it the Athens of the South and actually making like a Greek kit, like a Greek mythology kit. I know.
I would love that.
I'm sitting here racking at my brain and I'm realizing we should be talking to Adidas.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, maybe Adidas start listening to us, guys. I mean, we're talking great kit ideas.
More ideas than you guys have had in a while.
At least for Nashville.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, again, no love. The heart of Nashville kit. We got no love in it in this past weekend. Austin, do you think that again with some of the missteps I think the team has made with connecting with the fans, with the performances from last year, and the amount of fans that have expressed, their lack of engagement or wanting to engage? Do you think that Nashville should start hitting the panic button, especially with what we saw this past weekend in terms of the performance of the team? Should the front office start hitting the panic button?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because Nashville is still a transitional city right now. So many people are moving to this area and haven't fully bought into what Nashville is, who Nashville is, all of that. You come into a brand new city, and the teams that are here, the Titans, the Preds, the Nashville SC are all losing. The Sounds, I don't know as much about the Sounds. Haven't watched their record.
Too. They lose too.
But I'm just looking. I mean, you're coming in. You're not going to buy into the city like Grizzlies when they had their down years. The city had bought in because they had some good years prior to that.
Yeah.
And so whenever you see things like that happen, like Titans fans, they're still fans that are here from the 90s, but all these new people moving in, Nashville doesn't have the support base built yet to survive the down years. If it's a down season, that's different. If Nashville doesn't turn this around quickly, I think that you are going to see a lot of people losing interest because Nashville itself has a lot of people moving in, and not all those people are soccer people.
Do they need to win to turn this around?
I think that if you're talking from a fan standpoint,
yes, from a fan standpoint,
from a fan standpoint, for the team to connect with people, yes, I think that more people who are getting connected to the team with seeing a team win. You saw Leagues Cup, you saw that whole run, not just the messy game, the whole run prior to that. You saw a lot of people attending those matches.
There's a little bit of panic there for sure.
I think if I was Nashville SC, I would not panic. I think you gotta. Here's one thing I know about being a dreadhead. It's something you guys may not know. Being somebody that has dreadlocks, especially as long as mine. When you're growing dreadlocks, you go through what is called an ugly phase. All right, listen up, people. If you're not new to this, I'm gonna slip you in a little bit of the culture secrets here. That ugly phase is rough. Like your hair just doesn't look great. It just always looks like you got constant bedhead. Right now, Nashville cut off all their previous hair in the last year, and they're growing new hair. And right now, they're going through the ugly phase. They're growing through the ugly phase. That is what's happening with Nashville right now. So again, it's 2 games in. I don't know how much I can take from especially this Red Bulls game other than show me growth. That's all I can ask for.
Now, you say you don't think that's, but you do realize that Nashville SC for their first home match had the lowest percentage as far as stadium being filled, lowest percentage in the entire MLS.
It's a cold day in Nashville.
It wasn't cold anywhere else in the country.
You gotta understand, Nashvillians. We don't, dude. We'll shut down the city for an inch of snow.
Half the people here are from California, Austin. You just said it yourself.
Yeah, them Californians can't handle a little Nashville cold snap. All right.
I don't know, man. Literally lowest percentage, and that's just of tickets bought. So that's including all of the. They announced this the amount filled, or that they just announce it, the attendance of the game just by tickets sold. So that's including all the season ticket holders that weren't there.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to see us losing ticket sales, and then seeing teams like Atlanta and Charlotte having 50K in seats, mind you. It doesn't feel great. Once again, I think I'm not hitting. If I was Nashville SC at front office right now, I would continue to find ways to engage with the community outside of off the pitch, right? More community events, more things that are showing that they care about how they are showing up for us as fans, for us people who aren't even fans. And what are you doing for us right now? This is a hard times for everybody. Everybody's stressed right now, you know? So again, I think that, you can lose. I see the pieces being put in place. I see that, again, I just need to see growth, and I need to see growth on the pitch. I need to see growth off the pitch as well. I'm not panicking. Just do those things, Nashville.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you think. Are these panic buttons? Are these not panic buttons? If there's something that we didn't mention that you are panicked about, let us know what that is. But we are going to wrap another episode of Mixtape 615 podcast. Thank you guys for sticking with us, even through the hard times. We're going to be here week in and week out, giving you all the news, trying to keep it fun for you guys as well, because we love the team regardless. Not the team that Logan's showing if you're watching us on YouTube.
We love
the team that we love that's behind him that says Nashville. That's the team that we're cheering for. Special shout out to our ace producer, Doug Branson, our real MVP. Don't forget, guys, stay connected. Hit us up at mixtape615.com. We have got new scarves rolling out soon. You don't want to miss that. Hit us up on all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, all of that stuff. You can find us at Mixtape615. And for all of our video content, you can find us on YouTube at Mixtape615pod. So guys, keep it real, keep it vibing. Until next episode, Mixtape 615 is signing off.